Alright, it's Suki again. So, I apologize for all the videos right at once. The last two videos, so my second and my third Flosstube videos, I filmed January 1st. And then I had uploaded them, and then they didn't go in a normal place that I upload my videos to. Well, uploaded them from my camera to my computer, and they didn't go to a normal place, and then it got really busy, and then we got sick, and it was a rough couple weeks. So I finally found them again and did a little bit of editing and threw them up for you guys. And that just happened a couple days ago, so here we are in February 1st, yay! January felt really full, but also really quick. But I don't know, sometimes, you know, time can seem to go by really quick, but if it always feels like it's going by really quick, then that's probably just the normal speed of time going by. Anyway, so let's talk about January. We had one snowfall here, and things got canceled, but it only lasted, so it snowed on a Saturday, and yeah, it was somewhere between 9 to 12 inches of snow, and that was it. Like, by the following Thursday, all the snow had melted, and it was like 65 degrees. Anyway, we had that. As a family, we went roller skating, so that was a fun experience. My daughter was nervous at first, but because she had been ice skating the month before, she was a little bit more confident than she might have otherwise. But she was still nervous because she had never been roller skating before. So that was fun. Stitching. So I made a list of what I worked on throughout the month. So we're just going to go in order of the first time I worked on something. I ended the year with only 2 whips, and I have more than that now. Crazy! So I decided to let's just do this in order of when I started working on them. I did have a rotation going where I basically had 3 pieces and I just rotated them weekly, and that worked out really great. And now my rotation is just, I don't even know what's going on with it, and I don't know how to rein it back in and make it behave. So, but I feel like I kind of need to, like my brain is going a little haywire. Oh, okay, we'll talk about this later. Let's just talk about where I'm at. So, I worked on Under the Sea, which is a stitch along with Lakeside Needlecraft. And I'm doing this on, oh, I forgot which, I think it's 16 count Aida. And it's the Under the Sea fabric, which is an ombre. It's like lighter up here and darker down here, and it's kind of mottled. I shouldn't really say mottled, but it's got like a faint seaweed background. I'm sure there's better words to use here. But anyway, this little guy and his friend, we call him JR, because when I was stitching him, it was Tolkien's birthday, J.R. Tolkien's birthday, but we eliminated one of the R's and just made him JR. So it's the octopus and the little clownfish, and I did go ahead and make the border, and I had to guess a little bit, because some of them over here like extend into the next block, but at an angle, you know, like you have to go over 3 and up 1, so it's Anyway, so I had to guess at where I thought that it would end, and I'm sure it's fine because it's just the border. So even if I got it wrong, it wouldn't be hard to fudge that one. Anyway, he's a cutie. I liked working on him. My daughter liked him a lot. Also on the 1st, I started a second Heaven and Earth design, the one that I super, super love, Treasure Hunt Bookshelf by Amy Stewart. I don't have a picture to show you, but it's pretty popular. This is an electronic picture, and my printer's super weird about color right now, so I can't print one off. Anyway, it's a pretty popular one, so you've probably have seen it before if you're at all familiar with the Heaven and Earth designs. But if not, you can look it up. Treasure Hunt Bookshelf by Amy Stewart. And I'm doing this supersize max color on 25 count Lugana 2/1. And I'm super loving it. This is 2 pages across. And I'm doing it color by color, and it looks like a lot of blue because it is blues of different kinds, some dark teals. I think I'm on color number 6, and it still looks a lot like the same, but the shading's incredible. I can't wait to see more of it. You can see some outlines like a leaf here, and so you'll see how some of these are filled in, obviously, with greens instead of blues. So that was exciting. This is 2,714 stitches. It is about 1/5 of the way through the 2 pages, which is my personal goal for challenge number 4 with the Heaven and Earth Design Facebook group. The reason I'm doing 2 pages is because the challenge is 1 page or a minimum of 7,300 stitches, and these are large format pages, so I have to do 1 page and beyond to get the minimum number of stitches. So I just made it 2 pages for my mental ability. I don't know. So this is fun, but I haven't worked on it very much. Only about five days, maybe. So I'm looking forward to getting back. Like I said, my rotation is complete bananas. But that was my new year, new start for me. It was the one I really wanted to do. I waited to do it, so I did it. Let's see. Also on the 1st, because, you know, holiday, you can work on everything on the same day, I worked on Passion Flower Angel, a kit. I'm sorry, I think it's Pusilla, but I didn't look that up. No, it's Dimensions. Dimensions kit. My first ever Dimensions kit that I did, and I was doing this for a friend, and I did finish it in the month of January. So she is completely finished. The back stitching took forever because, compared to my unicorn, because you have to really count. In the unicorn one, you were like outlining. For the most part, you were just outlining, and it's very obvious the different colors. But like her hair, all this, the back stitching in it, like you just had to be really careful over when you were doing that. I had a lot of fun with the Lazy Daisy stitches. I love doing those ones. So I just, you know what, the angel wing, I was stitching that last, right before all the back stitching and the Lazy Daisies. It was just, oh, it took my breath away. It was just gorgeous. So there's my finish for January. I just need to send that out to my friend now. Okay. I need to do a better setup here because I'm sitting in a chair, but everything else is down low. The other thing I worked on, actually this was a new start. Stitch Mania has like a new start on the 17th, and I thought that was fun, and it will make me practice patience if I don't want to have a million whips. So if I want to start something new, I just need to wait until the 17th of the next month, I think. course, I say that now, and you're going to see that I started, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I started 5 new things this month in January, so I'll talk about that later. So anyway, this is Renaissance Sampler Nativity by Dimensions. It's an old Dimensions kit, one that I got from my mom. I started this one because it's Christmassy. I don't have anything Christmassy, and I think that this is just going to last all year round. So that's pretty much my goal, is to get it done by Christmas. And I'm really excited because this has a small amount of beads, and I've never worked with beads before. So this was my new start on the 17th. And ta-da! I know, super exciting, but it's some blue border. And that's it. I haven't touched it since. Just that day. It did take me a while. I didn't stitch very much because I had to separate out all my colors, and I decided to put them on the cardboard that it comes with. And I wrote the colors on the side and had to divvy them all up, so that took a little bit of time, so I didn't have too much time to stitch on that one. So that was the 17th. On the 18th, so the very next day, I got a package. Actually, the package might have arrived on the 17th, but an order from 123 Stitch came in. And this, I asked my daughter, I said, okay, so what's a cross stitch that you would love to see on your walls? And she didn't give me any of the answers I thought she would give me, but it actually took her a lot of time to answer because she liked so many, but none of the ones that I thought she was going to like. And we looked through pictures and pictures and pictures and different charts. She would say, oh, maybe something with this theme, and then, oh, maybe something with this theme. And what she ended up deciding was something, I'm trying to pull out the picture here. It's Little House Needleworks, Calendar Girls, and the Calendar Girl series. And so we're starting with January. I don't know if it's better if I hold it up. Probably not, because my camera doesn't. I'll hold it in front of my face. No. Little House Needleworks, January. And I also ordered February. Sorry, that one's still in the plastic. So I ordered both of those. And I started January, and I didn't finish it in January, but it's pretty close. I just need something to go behind this. I also let her pick out the fabric. She wanted something old-fashioned-y, is what she said. And so we looked at a whole bunch, and she landed on 28 count French country French latte, something like that. And it's a linen. It's an even weave linen, and it's very interesting to work on. I don't hate it, but it is very interesting because it's also 2/1, which is also my first experience, and it takes my brain a little bit to remember to do 2/1. But I also have to be very careful not to move the lines of the fabric. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. But it's cute. We didn't even notice that there was a bird here until I was stitching him, and he's super cute. So my daughter's excited for that one. I'm almost finished. I just have a little bit of the dress and her boots to go. So I started that on the 18th of January, and then on the 20th was the start of Ships Manners Mystery Town Stitch Along, which is the second stitch along that I'm doing this year. And he released the landscape as the the landscape portion, which is throughout the whole, you know, kind of like how a border, but the landscape is throughout the whole piece. There we go. And this is, I ordered the Aida, but I honestly can't remember what the count is. I want to say that it's a 16 count. I ordered both these stitch-alongs back before I had really had experience with other fabrics. So I think if I were doing it again, I would probably do even weave. I don't hate Aida, and I actually really like the 16, the smaller count of Aida. Yes. I'm really confused at how you talk about it. So the number goes up, but you say the smaller count? Is that correct? Anyway, this is Aida. And so this came on the 20th, the pattern came on the 20th, and I have pretty much non-stop worked on it. Yeah, I really didn't work on much else over the last 11 days, however many days it's been. But the landscape, is almost finished. And I hit something new and I say, oh, that's exciting. It was really kind of fun because he released like a placement picture so that you saw all of the landscape and then like the different parts and where they would go. But he didn't do it in color. And so it's not until you're stitching it that you see what the color is and you see some of the little features. Like there's a little car right here. And I started on the left side and worked my way to the right. I started up here. And that was fun. There were some other people who started in the center here and worked their way left. And so I saw like their river and going down into the bridge, and that was so cute. I loved it. I was like, I need to reach the water. So I worked and I worked until I reached the river. And when I reached the river, I was like hitting so many milestones with it. Like I reached the center point. I stitched all of the first page. I stitched everything that was above the center line, and I just wanted to keep going. So I kept going, and the second page and even the third page is very small, not a very large amount. But it was just a lot faster because the landscape doesn't go up as high. And also this was my first time working with variegated threads, and I was really nervous at first, and you probably won't be able to see this, but the limelight color right here, this light green, that was the very first part, and I did something weird and it looks a little bit weird. You can't really tell if I'm holding it at arm's length. Okay, well I can see it. So you probably could see it. But I learned, and I will always see that and remember that I learned about variegated threads on this piece. And so I was nervous at first, but I quickly fell into how they work and how to think about them, and that was really fun. So yeah, this is the other edge of it, and I'm pretty certain that this right here is going to be a willow tree. There's nothing to see because I only have the green around it. I'm pretty sure that's a willow tree, and there's just a little bit that goes up here, and this brown path extends all the way over. And then I'm finished with this. So that'll probably take me until tomorrow, maybe. So those are my new starts. Like I said, 5 new starts and 1 finish, which is a little bit unbalanced. And I'm really feeling it. Like I said, my rotation went out the window. Because like when I started these stitch-alongs, I'm like, oh, I needed, like my brain was like, I gotta do this right now, and I can't stop until I finish everything that was sent. I don't know why. Okay, so my camera only records 20 minutes at a time. Apparently I hit 20 minutes and it stopped, but I didn't notice when it stopped. So I'm going to restart this section. Not that you'll know it's a restart because I'm going to edit it out. But let's talk about February plans, which is really hard to do because I haven't really decided what I'm going to do. My rotation is just completely shot, and yeah, I just don't know. I want to work on all the things, but I also want to touch all the things, and I want to make significant progress on them. So I don't and I don't like to do different projects within the same day. I want to, just on one day, I want to be able to pick it up and put it down and not have to mentally switch projects throughout the same day. I really like a weekly rotation, but the stitch-alongs kind of throw a wrench in that plan because one of them took me like maybe 2 or 3 days to work on, and the other one is weird because the landscaping is this huge big chunk, but then the other ones are going to be little chunks, and it's also released later in the week or month instead of the beginning of the month. And so what do I do in the meantime? Anyway, so I have to figure this out. But my plan right now is to finish, my immediate plans is to finish the landscape for Mystery Town, stitch the part 2 of Under the Sea stitch along, because that comes out tonight or tomorrow, and mind blank, finish up January Calendar Girls. So that's my immediate plans, and then I will figure out a rotation again. I need a rotation. I will thrive on a rotation, but it got messed up with how many new things I started, and I need to take a deep breath and figure it out, and then my mind will be fine and I can move on. That's all it is. So as far as purchases, you already saw Calendar Girls. I got the fabric and patterns for January and February, plus the floss. And so I guess this month I'm going to need to make a purchase for the next ones. I think, yeah, I haven't decided yet, but so I got January and February, they're ready, or purchased, and I already started January like you already saw. My other purchases, I have just 2 other purchases. One is I decided I really wanted to do the giant Harry Potter from Cloud's Factory. So I'm going to slowly kit this up. Which is super hard to do. Like, you get something and you just, start it right away. Get everything, start it. But I'm making myself wait simply because I do have other things going on and I do want to make it more calm. But I did get the fabric, and I'm actually going to stitch this twice. I'm a little crazy. But I'm going to stitch this twice, once for me and one for a sister. And so I got this ginormous piece of fabric. I can't even show it to you all because, that's how huge this is. But basically, I ran a bunch of calculations. I measured. I don't know where I just put my... So I got a full yard. Belfast linen. 32 count Belfast linen. Blue ice. And I got this from 123 Stitch. And it's super pretty. It's a pretty blue. And it's super long. Fabric everywhere. Okay, fabric everywhere. So I'm just going to cut it down long ways. So if this is the skinnier part and the long part, I'm going to cut it down long ways and That gives me side margins of about 2.5 inches. It's a little bit smaller. I'd be comfortable with 3. But I think with the way that I want to finish it in the end, I think that it'll be fine. So I'm just going to cut it down in half, and then one's for me, one's for my sister, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. And I already know I'm going to change some things because the colors need to go by the books. So I think Coffee Stitcher, Garrett, Coffee Stitcher on YouTube, he has mentioned some of the changes that he's making, and so those are very similar changes to what I'm thinking I'll make. But I'm not going to start that yet. But I bought the fabric, so one less thing off the list. The other thing I purchased was, I was at Michael's, I think, and they had a whole bunch of the Dimensions Gold Collection on sale. Like 50% off, so I had to get it. Woodland Enchantress. I've looked at this piece for a long time, and I think it's gorgeous. So now that I have done a Dimensions kit and I know what I'm getting into, I also didn't notice until I was looking at this in the back, but there's a small amount of beads. Super pretty. I think it's this part where her hand is out, and it's the snow or coming from her hand. I think that's the bead part. But yeah, I'm super excited for this one. Yet again, I don't know when I'm going to start it. I wanted to start it when I bought it, and I want to start it now. But every day I say, I have so many things in progress right now. It feels like a lot. I know it's not maybe a lot for a lot of people, but everyone's personality is different, and my personality says that I have too many going, so I just need to decide how to cut it back, or at least how to arrange it to where it all fits within a month, but I'm spending significant time. I think that's really what it is I need to feel like I'm spending more than a day on it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a full week. Like my stitch-alongs might not take a full week, so yeah. That's all my purchases. The only other thing I wanted to show you is on my last video, which just posted 2 days ago instead of a month ago, I showed my stash, my very tiny stash, and I talked about the wolf, this one, and I went ahead and I put it in the washing machine, and you know what, most of it came out. The yellowing looked terrible before, but most of it came out. In person, on camera, I don't think you can see all the staining that happened and all the yellowing, but I actually think it looks okay what is left here, especially because some of what's left, like right here, is a pretty concentrated bit, but a little wolf is going here, so it doesn't really matter. And on the side, like right here, is pretty bad, but that's going to be covered up in a frame. So I think that I will definitely be able to finish this one now. Sometime when I need to pull something out from my... But I'm super excited that I'll be able to finish this and get that back to my mom. And she can do with it as she pleases. So there's my video. That's February for you. I mean, the beginning of February. That's January for you. And my plans for February. Anyway, hope this video finds you well. Thank you for your comments and likes and subscribing to my channel. I probably feel like a lot of you. I don't feel like I have all that much to offer the community, but I am exploring so much with my stitching this year that you guys understand. Like, you understand when I say, ooh, beads. Like, I'm excited to work with beads. Like, you understand that feeling. And you are probably even on the flip side where you're like, yeah, beads are awesome. Or just so much. Like stitching over two, stitching on linen, stitching on something other than Ada and a kit. I'm just so excited for it. Every time I'm like, this was something new for me, or I'm just exploring this further. And you get that. And my husband just kind of looks at me. There was one day he looked over and noticed that I was working on this new project. And he's like, how many projects do you have going on right now? And I was like, 6. I have 6 right now. And he's like, okay, you're a little crazy. But you get it. Like, I know you get it. He has this ability to really focus on one thing. And he will focus on that one thing until it's done or until he loses interest. But when he loses interest, it's not like he's going to cycle back around to it. He's just done with it. And I'm not like that. But you get me. And I appreciate it. So, thank you. I will see you guys next time. Bye.